If you're inside your Auction Insights report or anywhere else inside Google Ads that shows your impression share, and you see that you're not getting as high of an impression share as you'd like to be, and in today's video, we'll show you what you can do to fix the issue of low impression share inside Google Ads. And for those of you that don't know what impression share actually is, it basically shows you how many times your ads were displayed compared to the total number of times they could have been displayed. And it's a percentage given by Google of your actual impressions by the estimated number of impressions. And down here as well, you see what those are. So impressions are just the number of times your ads were actually shown. What the eligible impressions were the number of times your ads could have been displayed based on factors like targeting settings, which comes down to the keywords that you're targeting and locations that you're targeting, as well as ad quality and budget as well. Now, if you do have a small budget inside Google Ads, having a high impression share isn't something that really needs to be prioritized because your budget only allows for a certain amount of impressions anyways. But assuming that budget is not an issue, then an impression share of around 70 or 80% is a really good number to aim for. And usually the higher you go above that 70 to 80%, the higher you have to bid to just continue getting that high impression share. And usually the higher you go above that, the higher you have to just keep bidding to make sure you're outbidding your competitors. Now, we're going to show you the two main ways that you can actually see your impression share stats inside Google Ads. So the first one is where you can go to Insights and Reports and then go to Auction Insights inside your campaign. And here inside Auction Insights Report, it's just a really useful place where you can see your overall impression share, which as you can see here, for example, is 62.28%. And of that 62% of the time we were shown in the top of the page within the top three positions 80% of the time, and then about half of the time shown in the very number one spot. And the Auction Insights report is really useful as well for seeing how you compare to competitors and how often your ads, for example, are being shown below theirs or above theirs or even at the same time as theirs. And I'll leave the link above to a video that goes into a lot more detail on the Auction Insights report specifically. But not only is it a really good tool for just seeing your overall impression share, but how well you compare to competitors as well in terms of where you're being ranked compared to them as well. And the other place we like to see our impression share stats as well is by going back to all campaigns and then going to campaigns. And when you're inside campaigns, then what we like to do is have our search impression share, search loss impression share due to rank, and search loss impression share due to budget, all those three columns pulled up. And if you don't see those columns yourself, all you have to do is go to columns, modify columns, all columns, and then competitive metrics, and make sure you have search impression share, search loss impression share due to rank, and search loss impression share due to budget selected. Now, what's worth pointing out as well is that your search impression share, search loss impression share due to rank, and search loss impression share due to budget, these three figures will always add up to 100%. And what you obviously want to do is, if you want to maximize your search impression share, is have this number as close to 100% as possible and reduce these numbers as much as possible. And you can see, for example, in this case, we have a search loss impression share due to budget of around 25%. So what we would do to get this number as close as possible to zero, and which we probably will end up doing with this campaign, is just increasing the budget. And simply just increasing the budget alone is going to massively reduce this number. And if you do have a campaign that's not spending its full daily budget, then the chances are this number will be really close to 0% anyways. But the most common reason for search loss impression share is due to rank, and this is actually lower in this case because there's no real issues with what we're bidding or the quality of our ads either, which is the main two components that make up your search loss impression share due to rank. So the issue of search loss impression share due to budget is really simple. All you have to do is simply increase your daily budget if you have the capacity to do so. And that number is going to be really close to 0% just by making that one change alone. The search loss impression share due to rank then is a little bit more complex, but there are some simple ways of bringing that number closer to zero as well. And so your rank essentially comes down to what you're bidding and the quality of your ads as well. So the quickest and simplest way of bringing this search loss impression share due to rank closer to 0% is what we would do for this campaign is go to campaign settings and look at the target CPA we've set. And if we really wanted to bring this closer to zero, we would simply just increase our target CPA from €27 up by another few euros. So that way we're being as flexible as possible with our bid and we're not missing out on search loss impression share due to rank because we're bidding too aggressively. The same thing applies if you're using maximize clicks. If you have a maximum cost per click bid limit set too low, then you're massively reducing the amount of possible impressions that you could be getting. The other component of reducing your search loss impression share due to rank then is quality, which comes back to quality score. And I'll also leave the link to a video above that goes into more detail in terms of quality score and what you can do to improve that for your own campaign. But what you can start by doing if you haven't already is, if you have a lot of keywords inside your campaign, is that you want to go to your keywords and your ad groups and make sure that all of the keywords in each ad group are highly aligned and relevant to one another. Because if the intent behind all of your keywords inside an ad group are not the same, then it's impossible to write relevant ads for all of those keywords inside the one ad group. And just to show you an example of an ad group, for example, artificial grass installation here, all of the keywords in this ad group are related to artificial grass installation, and they all go to an ad that says artificial grass installation as well. So we know that anybody that sees this ad is interested in getting artificial grass installed because those are the only keywords that we have going to this specific ad. And what you also want to do as well with your ad copy is make it as compelling as possible so that you have the highest possible chance of earning the click over your competitors. So having the highest possible click-through rate, like we have here, for example, 15%, will tell Google that our ads are highly relevant to what the person is searching for, and they'll reward us for that by giving us a high quality score, a lower cost per click, and a higher ad rank as well. So we don't necessarily have to be bidding a lot higher than our competitors to rank higher. And we have a competitive target CPA set of €27 on this campaign because we've also been able to make sure the quality of the ads are there as well. So in terms of making sure the quality of your ads are high, make sure that you have compelling ad copy that has keyword focus and as likely as to be clicked on as possible to give you a high expected click-through rate. And then make sure the actual keywords inside this ad group are all relevant to that ad copy, which will help your ad relevance. And then what you want to do as well is make sure that if somebody clicks on this ad, that it actually goes to a relevant landing page specific to artificial grass installation and not your general website, which will help with your landing page experience as well. And to improve your overall landing page experience, just make sure that your landing page is fully mobile optimized, loads quickly, has mention of keyword focus so that it's specific to the keywords and ad copy of that ad group. And doing those core few things will just make sure that the quality of your ads are there. So that way you don't always have to be bidding higher than everyone else to have a good ad rank, even though increasing your bid initially is the quickest way to reduce your search loss impression share due to rank. Now, your keyword match types as well can play a big role in your overall impression share because depending on the keyword match type you're using, for example, we're using exact match keywords only for now for this campaign. So there's only so many different variations of search terms that we could possibly appear for. But if we started adding in broad and phrase match keywords, for example, we're instantly opening up hundreds, if not thousands, of more variations that we could possibly appear for. And because of that, then our overall impression share is just naturally going to be a lot lower because there's so many more eligible impressions that we could appear for. And if you have any kind of a limited budget whatsoever, it's impossible that you're going to show up 100% of the time because after you've started getting some clicks as well, then there isn't any space for Google to keep showing your ads, especially if you are using broader match types. So you're naturally going to have a higher impression share when using exact match keywords. So it is normal to see a lower impression share when you are using broad and phrase match keywords inside your campaign. Now, I hope this video helped and gave you some clarity on what to do to improve your overall impression share inside Google Ads. Now, if you do have any questions at all about anything we went through inside this video, or anything else related to Google Ads in general, feel free to leave a comment down below. And if you are a service-based business looking to further refine your own campaigns as well, feel free to have a look at the link in the description. And if you do like this Google Ads related content as well, feel free to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, as we'll be posting all things related to Google Ads here daily. And hopefully we'll see you inside the next video.